Okay, tonight we're going to use the properties of similar triangles. And the first slide wants us to use the properties of similar triangles to determine the missing sides and the scale factor. So what I did was I circled my corresponding sides, 16 and 10, and they're in black. And I labeled my missing sides as X and Y. So to find X, I used 16 over 10. Those were my corresponding sides. And I set that equal to X over 10. Notice I put my pre-image in my numerator and my image in my denominator. Then I cross-multiplied and got 160 equals 10x. And to solve for that, I divided both sides by 10. So I got x equals 16. Then to find my missing side, y, again I used my corresponding side, 16 over 10 equals y over 19. Again, I put my pre-image in my numerator and my image in my denominator. When I cross-multiplied, I got 304 equals 10y. When I divided by 10, I got 30.4 equals y. I set my scale factor. My scale factor compares my pre-image to my image. So that would give me 16 over 10, which reduces to be 8 over 5. Next, it wants me to use the measurements and determine the perimeter of the pre-image and the image. Determine the ratio of the perimeter of the pre-image to the perimeter of the image. So I put my values that I found in the previous slide, 16 and 30.4 on the missing sides. And remember, to find perimeter, you add your sides. So the perimeter of ABC would be 16 plus 10 plus 30.4, which gave me 62.4. And to find the perimeter of triangle DEF, I added the sides and got 10 plus 19 and got 39. So the ratios of the perimeters of my pre-image to the ratio of my image was 62.4 over 39, which reduced to be 805, or 8 over 5. And look, if I compare that, that should be familiar, because back on the first slide, the scale factor was also 8 over 5. So the ratio of the corresponding sides is always going to be the same as the ratio of the perimeters. And that shows here. Next, we want to use the fact that we found the ratio of the corresponding sides is going to be the same as the ratio of the perimeters. Because this question says, the perimeter of triangle ABC is 24 feet. If triangle ABC is similar to triangle LMN, and the scale factor of triangle ABC to LMN is 2 to 3, find the perimeter of triangle LMM. So I used my fact that the scale factor is 2 over 3 to find the perimeter of LMN. So I put 24 in my numerator because that's my pre-image, and the perimeter of LMN in my denominator because that's my image. And when I cross-multiplied, I said 2 times x, because that's my unknown, is equal to 72. Divide both sides by 2, and you get 36. On this one, it wants me to use the properties of similar triangles to determine the height of the image and the scale factor. So I compare my sides. 8 is to 24 equals 3 over x. Again, I put my pre-image in my numerator and my image in my denominator. So when I cross-multiplied, that gave me 8x equals 72. Divide both sides by 8, and I get x equals 9. So the height of my image has to be 9. If I find the scale factor, I compare my corresponding sides, 8 over 24, and I get 1/3. For the last slide, it wants me to use the measurements and determine the area of the image. Determine the ratio of the area of the pre-image to the area of the image. So I put my measurements I found in the previous slide. My height is 3 in my pre-image, and my height is 9 in my image. To find the area, I've got to use the area formula for a triangle, which is area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So I found the area of triangle ABC to be 1/2 times 8 times 3, which equals 12. And I found the area of triangle FEG to be 1/2 times 24 times 9, and that gave me 108. So to find the ratio of the areas, the area of my preimage was 12, and the area of my image was 108, and I reduced that and I get 1/9. I want to compare that to the ratio, or the scale factor. I go back and look. I said my scale factor was 1/3, and my ratio of the areas is 1/9. Notice here they're not the same, but if I square 1/3, that gives me 1/9. And area is squared because you have to multiply base times height.